Skyrim is absolutely filled with rich storylines and world building, but in case you can't read Roman numerals, it is the 5th mainline entry in Bethesda's The Elder Scrolls series. See that V looking symbol? That's actually a 5. Just another reminder of the Roman Empire for us guys out here. Is that considered an old meme yet? Damn, it's been 2 years already? And it's Skyrim's 14th year. Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit! Anyway, the point is that the Elder Scrolls series has had a lot of time to introduce a metric slowed load of lore. So much lore that you can pretty much design your entire character around a very niche but still general enough playstyle that you can enjoy in Skyrim with 99% accuracy. Enter the Green Pact, a very specific way of life for the many Bosmer and Valenwood who still follow it. While many races in the Elder Scrolls decide to worship the generally bastardized and consequently mass-morphed concepts of gods we now call the 8 Divines, or 9 Divines if you're a based true Nord of Skyrim, or lore nerd who knows what they're talking about, there once existed the first Earthbone of Nirn, Y'ffre, sometimes called the Storyteller. Y'ffre is basically Father Nature of Nirn, and he created his chosen people, the Bosmer, or Wood Elves. Since Y'ffre is basically the demigod of nature and created the Wood Elves in this belief, some more religiously minded Bosmer decided that they would follow what's called the Green Pact, which has some basic tenets. Do not harm the forest of Valenwood, do not eat anything made from plant life, eat only meat including those you conquer, and do not take on the shape of beasts. This includes a practice known as the Meat Mandate, which basically ordains cannibal— Stop! Wait, can I say that word on YouTube?
Nobody breaks the law on my watch!
Eating of one's own kind into the Bosmeri way of life. In case you didn't read the title, in today's playthrough we'll be following these tenets as a lore-accurate Green Pact Bosmer, and you can read more about all of this in the link that I have in the description down below. With that long-winded story-rich intro out of the way, let's go over the rules of the run. Number 1, I must play as a Bosmer or Wood Elf, duh. I'm going to name her Yamarin Cameron. Hope you lore buffs get a kick out of that. Number 2, I will be allowed to use shouts because we're still the Dragonborn and all that. Number 3, I can only use skills that are boosted by the Wood Elf race with the exception of speech and block. I won't take perks in either of these extra skills though, and this also means I basically can't cast any spells since literally no magic skills are boosted from being a Wood Elf. Number 4, I cannot use plants in any way. This includes gathering ingredients, eating foods, combining alchemy ingredients, and anything else that involves plants. Technically, these rules only apply to the province of Valenwood, but the game is literally set in Skyrim. I will be counting fungi, like mushrooms, as plants for this playthrough as well to eliminate any ambiguity, even though fungi are technically not plants. Also, trading for plant-based weapons and armor will be allowed since Bosmer can still trade for materials outside the Sacred Forest, and I can pull items off of fallen enemies too. Also, this rule applies to building houses since, you know, wood. Number 5, this is probably the biggest rule. To the extent possible, I must feed on enemies I defeat using the Ring of Namira. There is no exception to this rule on humanoid enemies. Undead are excluded, looting an animal will count as consuming them, and absorbing dragon souls counts as consuming them as well. I guess they're technically not made of meat or whatever like normal creatures, so we'll do what we can for that one. Number 6, I can't train enchanting. Any weapon enchantments I use will not be rechargeable. Now for some rapid fire rules: no followers, no pets, no weapons are allowed except for bows, no shields, no stabs, no scrolls, no smithing, no transformations like werewolf or vampire, and this one's actually explicitly covered in the Green Pact. And a big one here, no overpowered leveling until a skill is made legendary. This is to ensure a smooth difficulty curve as much as possible, but we'll be breaking that around level 50 or so. No game-breaking glitches or exploits, some minor ones here and there are fine. And lastly, I will not be doing survival mode, mostly because I find it tedious and not very fun. Plus, it would just make these videos take twice as long to create, and I know all of them take long enough anyway. I know of all runs to do this on, this one would probably make the most sense to do it on, but I am strong in my conviction and in my avoidance of annoyance. Oh yeah, and we're also on legendary difficulty, as always. And now that we're out of Helgen, let's get started with the run. To start, I'm going to take the Thief Stone to boost Thief skill experience gain by 20% since Wood Elves basically have all Thief skills aside from Archery. And yes, by the way, I did pick up a bow from Helgen during the large-scale battle portion, so it's pretty handy given the theme of this run. Now, if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you'd know that I do not plan out my playthroughs largely in advance, which is partially why this video of this 60-hour playthrough, number 1, took 60 hours, and number 2, may appear haphazard at times, but I like to believe that it makes both the playthrough and the video more entertaining due to the randomness. But part of the plan involves eventually making mega ultra alchemy potions using 0 plant ingredients, 4 of which are listed on screen now. So clearly we're going to need Salmon Row, which we can get by swiping these jumping salmon outside of Riverwood. Isn't that such a fate, by the way, working so hard, swimming up waterfalls just to have your row stolen by a cannibalistic wood elf to be used for liquid gold. What a world. And with my first pack of wolves, the truth of this playthrough is already laid bare. Wood elves, the scourge of the Valenwood forests, are nothing but a bunch of vanilla Skyrim players. Aside from stealth archers, they also have the command animal ability, which lets you make nearby animals your allies for 60 seconds, which is very useful in this pinch here. Now we can take the wolves on one at a time. By the way, interesting mechanic here, if you're quick enough you can loose an arrow early, then bash your bow to punch an arrow into your enemies. It's quite handy. And unlike the last playthrough of Pure Argonian, we actually deal enough damage to enjoy a kill cam or two. Now that I've made it to Riverwood, I can interrupt a bonding moment among siblings and accept the Golden Claw quest. If you're patient with how the quest plays out, Camilla will actually show you how to travel to Bleak Falls Barrow and lead you to the edge of town. Leave it to the citizens of Skyrim to kindly show you the door as soon as a foreign race arrives.
I guess I should get back to my brother. He'll throw a fit if I take too long. Such a child.
My sister in Yifri, the outskirts of town is where people get attacked. He has a point. Let's go ahead and level up. We'll only be leveling health because stamina doesn't matter, and we won't be casting any spells this playthrough. For the perk, let's fast track my archery damage. Of course, it should be no surprise that since trading is allowed, I'll be selling everything I can at all times because while wood is off the table for me, gold very much is not. And you know, a Bosmer's gotta eat a very fine steak dinner, and the increased thief stats kinda make me want to use them. That hunter backpack is a nice find, and by the way, yes, I play on the Anniversary Edition, in case you were wondering. I meet up with Alvor because I went with the Imperials this time around. I don't think a Valenwood Wood Elf would go with the Stormcloaks in a normal Elder Scrolls world. And to save us some time, let's just assume that I steal every low-hanging fruit in sight throughout the early playthrough because I pretty much do. Your girl likes her some gold. Listen, you guys know I have my opinions about Sven, but in this playthrough, I still hate the son of a gun. I'm a Wood Elf. I'm a bit partial to my own people.
Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Faendal as well?
Faendal, I have secured your love interest with Camilla.
I appreciate your help.
Thanks for allowing me to loot your house. Wait, Faendal, what are you doing? You shame our entire race, you plant product partaking Well, I guess that's why they call her Yamarin Cameron. I travel down the river, grabbing jumping salmon along the way for their eggs, hunt down some Luna moths, which apparently can phase through solid walls. I need lore on this Todd, and potshot a giant until I run out of arrows. Kind of awkward. Just doing my part so Ayala doesn't shame me.
You handle yourself well.
Thank you very much. Too bad I can't associate with shape-shifting heretics this run. I buy some cork bulb arrows from the drug kitties without really realizing what they do. Let's just say they're really good, as you'll soon see. For now, let's head to Markarth so I can soak in the vibrant hues of gray. And red, apparently.
This pendant
Never should have come here.
victory is yours. I submit.
Oh, okay, that hurts. Oh my goodness, that damage is kind of nuts. Damn, these guards are absolute ass. Jeez, that damage. Damn, that is crazy. But hey, I guess corkball arrows have a paralyze effect, so that's not broken at all. Wow. It's crazy you can get that so early. Okay, maybe the guards can actually take care of him from here. The only good Forsworn is a forlorn and mourn Forsworn. My guy's looking like a damn Breton pincushion.
Are you alright? Did you see what happened?
I must have missed it. Sorry.
You don't have to say sorry to me.
Oh, but I do, my clueless little reachman.
You saved my life.
Yeah, don't go around groveling, Margaret. I walk in on totally civil religious discussion in Understone Keep.
What are you hiding, priest? You and the Jarl will answer for any desecration of my ancestors' bodies.
Only the priest will answer for this, right? Not me. So the good thing about this quest is that there are 0 level requirements. All you have to do is find a way inside the Hall of the Dead, meet with this creep of an NPC. Like, seriously, the cryptic story bit, I could have gone without. I'm just trying to adhere to my religious principles by eating anyone I hunt down, you know? Don't need to make it creepy. I agree to help clear out Draugr at Reachcliff Cave and inform the priest of the good news.
You're a hero.
No, I'm just hungry. At least he gives me his amulet. Before I head out, I make sure to visit the local smith to buy this sweet hunting bow of embers and some more iron arrows. And now we're ready to head out. First things first, we gotta grab the Lover Stone for 15% extra experience to all skills, very useful. And this bow is putting in some work. You know, it's absolutely crazy how blind the Blades are as an organization. You're gonna tell me a little bit of fog blocked the view of these massive, clearly Akaviri style buildings for centuries and no one climbed the mountain in that time to look? Really? That's crazy, man. Speaking of climbing, I make my way to Reachcliff Cave and meet up with Aola for some purging.
I was hoping you would say that.
This is how you know that the Dragonborn is canonically a green Pact Bosmer. Also, fun fact, back when I was a Sky baby, a Wood Elf Archer was my second ever character. Bonus points if you guess what my first one was in the comments. It actually might be my next playthrough. With a twist, of course. You know, having a Flame Atronach for a nice 3-on-1 feels pretty good right about now. He goes down with no trouble. You know what? That ancient Nord bow is a better base than hunting bow, it seems. I know some of you in the comments are thinking about draw weight and fire rate. We'll get to that. I didn't actually know about that at this point in the run though. Man, these cork bowl arrows are really good, able to paralyze enemies at such a low level. I think I'm gonna skip past them once I run out. Having paralyzed this early is just too easy. Hey, I'm not done with you, tough guy. And we're officially out of charge. Gonna switch out for the Nord bow. Still got the moves. I play on controller, by the way. Let's go for Eagle Eye. Damn, I love this game. Now that's a lore accurate Bosmer. All right, there we go. Final room. Feels like it's 2011 again.
I will drink your blood and feast on your flesh.
Well, damn, Aola is probably thousands of years old. I do not find that appetizing. Last enemy. Oh boy, he's a biggin. Aola, you take point. I'll stay behind and do what Bosmers do best. Hiding in the bushes. Damn, Aola is a really powerful companion. Conjuration, one-handed skills, decent health pull, making this a damn breeze right now. Aola invites me to dinner for an especially tasty morsel.
You know, in the priesthood of Archay, we have a joke about an empty pocket being better than a full grave.
Okay, well, what if I gave you a whole 90 gold?
That's no small amount of coin, friend.
Figures. What's a priest without bagging some money, am I right? Apparently, Namira possesses a silver tongue enough to make a completely uptight priest hungry enough and tired enough to sleep on a clear offering altar. The fuck kind of quest is this, dude? I carve up my dinner one poke hole at a time and eat up. I'm not even sure if this video will even be monetized at this point since, you know, eating of one of a similar shape to humans and all. I guess this would be a good time to invite y'all to be channel members or something. I don't know. The button's there if you want to press it. Like and subscribe too while you're at it, if you so desire.
I will grant you my power.
The power to put my channel in jeopardy for entertainment? She really is the worst Daedric prince.
Your mockery will be the end of you.
Well, see you never. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Looks like Helgen has been cleared out already by Todd and the boys. That's a bummer. I'll just pick up where I left off. Time to head to Windhelm, where I bear witness to a warm welcome from the locals.
Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
I hope some ways of finding out what you really.
Oh, so the High Elf stable master has taken a liking to me, huh? Too bad he's not marriageable. Turns out he's actually a married man. Or elf. Maybe he's just being nice, so I'll buy a horse from him. Typical car salesman tactics. When do my fictional fantasy games stop being an escape? You know, I've never checked to see if the Dark Elves actually are Imperial spies before. So it's this house, huh? Nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing in our pockets. I don't know. Place seems pretty clean to me.
I was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind. I was wrong.
Well, that's one way to welcome a wood elf to your fine establishment. Let's check up these stairs. No freaking way, dude. They really are a bunch of Imperial sympathizers. 13 years of playing and I never knew. Wow. Not that I have anything against the Empire in this run, just wow. Didn't expect to see that there. But I'm here for a different kind of rumor. Aventus, you've been a naughty boy. Well, what better reason to get started in Riften?
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating.
How ironic. Children, look away! Am I really about to eat an old lady in front of little kids? I mean, can't let a good meal go to waste. I mean, they seem to be pretty happy about it. Damn twisted little orphans. Might as well ask about marriage in Skyrim, although it'll be a little while before I'm actually able to marry, given the selections of homes that I'm pigeonholed into staying in. And by that, I mean there's exactly one that I can in this playthrough. First point into stealth to work towards that 3 times sneak archery damage, and back to Aventus for a silver plate that he thinks is worth a life. Skyrim is doomed, man. The youth have turned to Sithis. After that little side venture, time to head to Whiterun proper. Let's lay down some salutations for some foundations, for some relations, for some consummations. In other words, laying down that ivory. Where's the dialogue option? Okay, apparently it's just not there. Maybe waiting will help? Okay, maybe not. Huh. So I looked up that maybe dropping the mammoth tusk and re-stealing it might help. Bro, who saw that crime? I was completely hidden. Okay, what the hell? Sheathing my weapon does nothing? Why do they want me dead? Do I even have a bounty right now? Dude, what the heck? I have 0 bounty in any hold. I've never had a bounty, in fact. Why are they trying to kill me? Hello? Todd? This wasn't part of the plan? Okay, maybe if I get far enough away, this will work. Let's just try going to Riverwood. Maybe the distance will help. Bro, what the heck? Why is everyone trying to kill me? They are in pursuit, too. Maybe reloading my save will work? That's a no. Maybe if I quit out? Bro, who did I defend at Bethesda to deserve aggroing the entire world against me? Todd, if this is what I'm meant to do, then I trust you. Into your loving arms I go. Todd, that didn't work. What the hell am I supposed to do here? Okay, I'm gonna try doing what I do whenever I get a problem in real life. Ignore it. Maybe a good meal will help me out here. Damn, the Thalmor soldier always has some good stuff out here. Maybe a little looting of the local bandit camp? Ha, okay, dude, sure. Yeah, that boon is a nice little piece of defense. Might as well take a load off while I'm here. Just the humble abode I wanted to visit. Crazy how they found me in the middle of the woods, though. Nothing like a little midnight snack. Tastes like warranted stereotypes. There's some free-scaled armor. Out here looking fresh from the fjords. I traveled to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. Time for some new drip. The 20% extra bow damage is quite nice. I do be feeling rather spoopy. Okay, cool. I guess the cure to blind rage is a little kidnapping adventure. Who knew? Back in Riverwood, I make sure to buy a nice bow upgrade. And now I can head into Bleak Falls Barrow after lunch. Thankfully, the spider has about as many brain cells as it has eyes. Arvel ain't outrunning my arrows today, and neither are these Draugr. Worms for brains. You would think that they know their own dungeon by now. You would think that melee enemies would give me a hard time, but thankfully I've mastered the art of backing up slowly. It's an undefeated strategy. Can't believe I actually forgot the combination already. Your boy is getting old. There we go. I read the word of power and get ready to greet our sleeping beauty. Hello? You in there? Oh, there he is. Just a bit shy. I've defeated enemies like this twice now barehanded, so this really isn't much of a challenge. I mean, I'm playing as a stealth archer. Is anything much of a challenge? Let's see how he likes it right in the knee. Yeah, he won't be adventuring anytime soon. Any stoners? And I mean, I can't let Anise have a peaceful night out. We hunt in these woods. Now that's an extreme makeover.
No offense, but you're not looking so good. Are you feeling ill?
No, but I am feeling hungry.
I'm glad I did you myself.
Feeling much better now, thank you. I hand in the Golden Claw and head back to Whiterun where I can plant those seeds I mentioned before. Well, that's what I would say if I were male. Unfortunately, those vows will have to wait until I can get a very specific house.
Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
You can trust in the strength of my walls against your dragon, Jarl Balin.
Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative.
As they say, nature calls. I hand in the Dragonstone to Farengar and cozy up to the Jarl's side before he sends my tiny wood elf ass to go fight a dragon. Not the dragon I wanted to wrestle with today. By the way, if you're overencumbered with carry weight or disappointment like I am, you can draw your bow and walk slightly faster. It ain't much, but it's something. I shake my ass in front of the general store to get Belethor to unlock the door. Gotta do what you gotta do in this town. It ain't called Whiterun for nothing. Ooh, fire arrows. Could be useful. And an Imperial Bow of Burning, not bad. Now to head out and fight the— whoa, what the heck? Todd, how could this happen? Is Hirsine playing tricks on me today? Don't answer that. I'll be dealing with him later. For now, I have a dragon to slay. And, you know, hopefully not get torched in the process. I guess everyone decided to have their hand at archery today. Not that I'm complaining. Gotta make Mjolnir feel like I do after a large order of Taco Bell. That Diablo sauce is a killer. Looks like a time-riding demigod shard of the Akatusk himself couldn't handle a little ring sting. And down he goes. Easy. Now for that big suck! Okay, so I don't know exactly how this works, but I sold the bow back to Adrian, and I think because it was her item to be sold initially, the charge was restored out of nowhere. I tried this with other weapons and merchants, but couldn't get it to work, so someone in the comments, do some research for me. Rongar is just in shock that a female would ever be putting out for his little brother.
This hasn't happened in centuries, at least.
But it seems that my forward nature has rewarded me.
We are honored to have you as Thane of our city, Dragonborn.
Typical politician upward mobility. But I have another city to climb the ladder in. Or, you know, stairs work too.
If you're willing to work, and you prove to be reliable, I might deem you worthy to live here.
Hence the reason I came. But in order to be able to purchase a home, I need to deal with an army of Forsworn. And I'm sure there will be a Briarheart among them too. So I guess I gotta get some... Our first stop is going to be Riften, so I may receive the blessings of Mara. Talking to Dinya Balus lets me start the Book of Love quest, which will grant me the Agent of Mara buff, which gives 15% magic resist. In addition to this, I can also get the Blessing of Azura, which gives 10% magic resist for 8 hours, and activate the Lordstone for 25% magic resist and 50 armor rating. Both are pretty handy buffs. And for armor pieces, I can actually grab the Savior's Hide for 15% magic resist, which is also the only chest piece in the game that grants magic resist, which is a pretty cool little nugget of info. My first stop is Ivarstead to help Fastrid come to her senses and get with our main man Klimek. But on the way there, I decided to get cheeky and lure a bear into town. I was just testing the local guard, and apparently this drunken pugilist, they seem alright at their job. I also grabbed the delivery supplies from old boy, and before I know it, my fake ADHD kicks in, and I'm off hunting bears again. I think the guards have caught on to my schemes and refuse to help me. Thankfully, this bear gets distracted by a delicious cow, which allows me to shoot it in the booty to fulfill my wood elf duty. I know my green pack prevents me from killing wastefully, but trust me, nabbing that bear was super necessary.
It was super necessary.
I decided to go ahead and get up the steps to High Hrothgar since I'm already here, and these fire arrows are going to be really handy for the Frost Troll. As most of you know, fire damage is really nice against trolls since they are both weak to fire by 50% and the extra burning prevents their healing from taking effect. This one's pretty tough though. Hope the local pilgrim doesn't mind lending me some help here. Nice little tank situation we got going on here. Oh shoot, I forgot these arrows are area of effect damage. Guess I have a new friend of me. Thankfully, the troll helps me take care of 2 birds with 1 fire explosion. Nothing like a freshly cooked meal, right? And here we are. Hey Greybeard, what do boats do? Bet you boys never seen moves so slick before, huh? A couple of ghosts busted and gates rusted later. And now we're off to get a dead man's horn. Couple of bone walkers down sat and a word learned down flat. A puzzle solved fast and spiders ran past. And here we are for the horn at last. I promise there will be no more nursery rhymes. And look, someone stole the horn. Oh drat. On my way out of Ustengrav, I managed to get enough archery XP to level up and learn the power shot perk, which is 1 step closer to making archery even more overpowered. Now my arrows stagger enemies half the time. On crossbows this would be with every shot, but alas, I don't see no wood elves shooting crossbows, only regular bows this run to keep it fair. Don't worry, I left no corpse uneaten. Alright, back to Riverwood. Damn, I got the cultists and the Dawn Guard knocking at my door. Your boy's a popular little Bosmer. Too bad I gotta eat him. Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You cut right in front of the arrow. Hold on, Durek, damn. Sigrid, you will not be wasted. Crap, Durek saw me. This time, I'll pick my shots carefully. Ooh, how's that eye feeling? Not bad, boys. Now look away for this part. I'll just quietly eat my dinner in peace this time. Can't let the other one go to waste either.
Delicious.
I meet with Delphine, who gives me the unholy euphemism I was looking for. I explain to this obtuse oblong that I'm Dragonborn.
But you'll forgive me if I don't assume that something's true just because the Greybeards say so.
Bro, who else would you trust to claim someone is Dragonborn?
The caucasity of this bitch.
After looting every kosher ingredient I can from the secret lair, I return to the Greybeards, and they speak to me in the ancient tongue.
The famous Grand Pacer test.
Now, here's a fun fact for you. If you return to Ustengrav and go back to where you found Delphine's note, you can return the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller and claim a free dragon soul. I played this game since it launched, and only just now have I ever done this. You guys in the comment section are the absolute best. Please continue to give me these little tips I had no idea about, because this would have helped a lot in the past. Now, you may be wondering why I'm choosing to fight a dragon before all my magic resist buffs are taken care of. Well, I'm happy to inform you that I don't know either. I guess I'm just confident in my archery skills. Now, at this point, Salaknir is just a base dragon, so my damage is actually pretty good for right now. And as long as Delphine continues to take the hits, we'll be good to go. The enemy AI never disappoints. Todd made the aggro for melee characters super strong. I didn't take damage the entire fight, and Delphine never went down, so I guess you could say my hunch was correct. Yeah, what now, Delphine? You gonna question me now?
You really are Dragonborn.
Like trying to squeeze water out of a rock. Back to Iverstead for a chance at romance, then to Markarth with some bone in the stones, and finally to Gjökur's monument for the ghosties to get toasty. I hated every second of those rhymes. But there's my buff, just in time. Oh yeah, and I also got deadly aim for 3 times sneak damage. Sheesh, what kind of bedtime story ass mood was I in when I wrote this? I promise you guys there is a world where I'm funny and not tired all the time. We're just not living in it. As you can see, I made my way to Arkingthams to meet Katria because I was feeling hungry and all.
Really? You had to take the armor? Come on, maybe with a little dignity.
Oh, oops. We fight through the ruins, past all the Falmer. Man, I really forgot how long this dungeon is. I've been here for 20 minutes already. And here's what I came for. Zephyr is a unique dwarven bow that has an innate enchantment of 30% faster draw speed, so it's perfect for this kind of run where I can rapidly stagger enemies over and over. And it makes doing this puzzle just a little bit easier. I finish up with Arkingthams, but before I leave, I gotta do my girl a solid. This is the most dignified burial I can give you, Katria. May you feed the fishies. Now to continue on our quest for magic resistance, but not before I fell our little lizard friend. And damn, this base dragon is really making the case for magic resist right about now. Now that the dragon is grounded, I managed to find myself a little alcove next to the blacksmith. Just another day at the office for Laud, who I guess forged his own balls of steel. 1 prostate exam later, and that's another soul. Alright, look. I had heard online that apparently you can get sending skin before the Blood Moon hunt part of this quest, but every time he just ends up too far away from the door for me to reach him, so like it or not, I have to take his ring and do it normally. I hunt down this giant white stag, and man, her scene is just tweaking right now. Give this not my ancestor carver of Oblivion some damn Daedric Xanax or something. His conversation leads me to Bloated Man's Grotto, where I meet up with Sinding before the hunt commences. Ooh, a chest! Wonder what's inside. Really? Now of all times?
A new hand touches the beacon.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, hear me and obey.
This is my facial expression every time I hear her voice.
And I will make you the instrument of my cleansing light.
Well, now that that's over, it's time to join the hunt. And damn, I was hoping this would be a challenge, but Hirsine brought a damn army with him. Sadly enough, Sinding didn't even put up a fight. He was truly a beast filled with his own burdens. May his weight be cast off in the hunting grounds. Alright, and there's the Savior's hide. A bit on the lower side for armor rating, but the magic resistance is all I need. And like a true hunter, the prey must be consumed. I find it kinda odd that these guys just can't understand that. And there's the last of them. Listen, these are Y'ffre's rules, not mine. Now that that's done, I can start heading to the Lordstone. On the way, I make sure to pick up these major alchemy bracers for all the racism the Nords have. At least they take my coin. I also visit a couple shipwrecks so I can harvest some Nordic barnacles for some potions later. And now to get stoned. Hope she doesn't mind the taste of wood and steel. that's one down. There's two. Well, that last one kind of faked me out, but that's all of them. Sometimes the spoils of war are just too much. And with the Lordstone, that's my last early permanent magic resist buff. Plus 25 and plus 50 armor rating too. And now for the grand finale. God, I love this line.
This is Morrowind, not Skyrim.
Love Morrowind. Skywind or a remake can't come soon enough. Sir, do you mind? I'm trying to have a conversation with the literal second counselor of the city. You freak stay my hand, man. Well, that was a weird stare down. There's the Blessing of Azura, and altogether that should be 65% magic resistance. Given that the maximum in the game is 85, I'd say we're in a good place for now. After a little more sidetracking, I decide to head to Whiterun for some offloading, but I only found trouble.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Help! I'm being attacked!
See how you like it in the clouds. Now that's a pause. Come on guys, he's not even worth it.
Don't get any crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
Glad you saw it my way. By the way, I'm the Jarl's Thane. That gives me at least one free murder, right? Sorry, wife-to-be. I need to borrow Nazim for a second. This looks like a nice spot. Just a sweet little morsel. Tastes like horker dung, though. Sorry for the disturbance, everyone. Now for a little field trip. So this is Sheerpoint, the site of the Throw Voice Word of Power. However, that's not really important to this playthrough. Instead, we're here for the other resident of the peak of the mountain, because while whoa, Yamarin, that view is not very Christian of you. Oh well, I guess it's just the price of fighting an airborne dragon. As I was saying, while the dragon itself is base and nameless, the other resident of the mountain is not so common. This is Croesus, the only dragon priest that isn't bound to a dungeon or special location. This is the only free-roaming dragon priest once you wake him up. I guess it was pretty handy that there wasn't a College Winterhold expedition, or the whole surrounding area could have looked like a Necro fortress or something. Now, thankfully, Croesus is susceptible to my power shots and staggers about half the time. Otherwise, this little guy could be halfway to Whiterun by now. As you can see, the 65% magic resist is really kicking in here because otherwise I'd be toast. What is it with this guy and backing off of cliffs, man? It's like he's never gone base jumping in his life. A couple of pot shots and fire resist pots later, I finally managed to chase him down to a giant camp where this woolly bastard steals my kill on the literal last hit. Todd is literally trying to grief me mid-run, man. Thankfully, this isn't the Elder Scrolls Online and I can grab what I came for. As far as upgrades go, it doesn't get much better than this. Croesus gives me a boost to all skills that a thief build could ask for. Lockpicking is what it is, but 20% to archery and alchemy is amazing. And it's light armor, so I can actually wear it. And damn, ain't she a beauty this far into the playthrough. Now that we're in the business of gaining power and influence, I made sure to stop by Vollenrud to grab the Aura Whisper shout, because I'm the only sneaky around these parts. This cowering Nord warrior is no match for a common variety wood elf from Valenwood apparently, and they think they can rebel against the Empire. Next, I climb the slopes south of Falkreath so I can reach the Ancestor Glade early for a little secret this place holds. I'll explain later. For now, let's continue with the influence part of that equation so I can join the Thieves Guild. Unfortunately, I am not immune to Nocturnal's curse, and I get caught stealing during the scheme. The stolen items are easy enough to get back though, but that tone from Brynjolf cuts deep, man.
I guess I expected too much from you.
Regardless of the disappointment, he still invites me through the Ratway to the Ragged Flagon, and this one's pretty big. With 70 archery, I can now take the Quick Shot perk, which gives me even faster draw speed by 30%. Now I can draw my bow with blazing speed. Just look at this, I practically have an Elder Scrolls minigun. When we start getting into poisons, enemies are going to drop like the piss ants they are. And we gonna be hungry. This skeever I killed is just nightmare fuel, Jesus. Brynjolf welcomes me to the trash heap of Riften. I collect the protection money for the Mafia. Really? You're gonna let me shop here after I just extorted you for money? Turns out it was the best trade deal in history because I just got 10% extra magic resist. That's 75% total now. One last sloot to loot, and now to start the alchemy grind a bit. Using Salmon Roe and Nordic Barnacle, I can combine this with Blue Dartwing, Orange Dartwing, Luna Mothwing, or Slaughterfish Egg to get a really high value potion of Water Breathing and Pickpocket, or Damage Magicka for some early levels. Remember, I can only use ingredients that aren't plants or fungi, so that limits things a bit. For a list of all possible combinations, I'll link a spreadsheet in the description. I finish out this leveling session with 46 alchemy from starting with 20, and I'll upgrade it over time like all the rest of the skills. I return to Brynjolf to join the Thieves Guild.
Welcome to the Thieves Guild.
And loot and steal all valuables in sight. I mean, it's the name Thieves Guild, so I don't know what they expected. At least I can start offloading the potions I made earlier with Tanelia and Cheese of Fence. And therein lies the reason why I'll be completing the Thieves Guild questline to offload all my shit. From Delvin, I can pick up numbers jobs, and I can pick up heist jobs from Vex. Between these two categories, I tend to find them the easiest to complete. Now to talk to Brynjolf. Okay, where'd he go now? Wow, so much for thinking outside the box, bro. So for numbers jobs, you can just sneak and activate a ledger, and for heist jobs, you can just unlock a strongbox in a shop. Fun fact, if you revisit the same shop for a job, the strongbox will stay unlocked sometimes. And of course, I didn't miss Rogvir's execution. And here's a fun fact for you. If you ever find yourself needing salmon roe, you can use the animal allegiance shout on jumping salmon to stun them out of their animation and collect their eggs. You can do a similar thing with the clear sky shout, but we won't be using it in this playthrough. Figured I'd mention it here. And even better, you can use them on stationary salmon, which I should also add there. A quick stop to Babette from the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary, and there's 80 alchemy, which are all the levels I need for the perks I want. So that's full alchemist, physician, poisoner, benefactor, and concentrated poison. Nothing more, nothing less. Now to head back to Riften, to the docks, and down into the water where I get all the fishies I need. I'm looking for River Betty in particular for the strongest poison available in the run. You can also get them from these fishing barrels along with Salt Pile, which is also needed, and that's definitely not the last place I checked. During this long and arduous journey of catching fish by hand, I learned 3 things. Number 1, the river fishies almost always have a swarm of dragonflies above the water surface, which makes it easy to spot where the spawns are. Number 2, the Riften docks are pretty much the best place to go for easy gathering, at least in my opinion. And number 3, the Sea of Ghosts up north is absolutely terrifying, and new fear unlocked of not being able to see where I'm swimming in the deep depths of the ocean. My god, miss me with that bullshit. Also, I made it to Winterhold. And now back to the Ancestor Glade. And I guess I've fallen out of favor with Y'ffre this time because these Spriggan Earth Mothers are just on a tear to turn me into plant food. Good thing we're in Skyrim and not Valenwood though. In case you haven't noticed, we're playing on the Anniversary Edition, which gives us access to the second available ingredient for Fortified Marksmen, the Angelfish. Only 2 of these bad boys spawn in this little pool, and it's the only recurring spawn for them to my knowledge without needing to fish for them for hours, and they replenish every 2 days. So theoretically, I should be able to travel all the way to Solitude on the other side of the map, travel back to the cave, and back to the waterfall pool, and hey, would you look at that? So with our current alchemy ingredients, we can make a Fortified Marksman potion with Spider Egg and Angelfish for 78%, and a 98 second and 98 damage Poison of Slow. Now to finally get started on that request for the Jarl of Markarth. And damn, that rapid fire stealth archery is nasty, man. And with no 4 unsworn, I make it to the final room. Briarhearts can be a tough opponent if unprepared. Well, that was easy. I spent all the time making sure that I was good to go that I just invalidated the difficulty of this part of the challenge. I guess it's just the result of being well prepared? I don't know. I guess I should have taken the hint that I was starting to get overpowered after the early Dragon Priest fight. Too bad I can't eat his heart out. I returned to Markarth to turn in the quest, and ooh, merchants are starting to stock up on bone arrows, huh? Best damaging arrows in the game. Lovely. And they're made of bone, so Y'ffre would be pleased. Hey Jarl, your boy is gone.
I'm impressed.
And here he comes with yet another request. He needs me to face down a Hagraven and retrieve his father's shield, which was stolen back when you could try and negotiate with the Forswarm. But obviously, those days are over. Now that's a scream, damn. And here's our lovely nature witch lady. Ironically, I find them to be easier than Briarhearts. Well damn, I've never used lightning arrows before, but that was a shocking result. There's the shield and some damn good random level loot. Shout out to Camelworks, by the way. I need another Elder Scrolls Detective video right now. And that was probably the worst Australian impression I could ever do. And with the shield's return, I can now purchase property in Markarth. Now to my new home. This is Vlindrel Hall, a home that is basically a remodeled dwarven room carved straight into the mountainside in Markarth. so naturally everything here is made of stone. This fits perfectly within my religion. And all of these wooden furnishings are bought from a different culture, so we're all kosher in the eyes of Y'ffre. Perfect for a devout Bosmer like myself. Now to get married to Isolde because she drives on both sides of the road, if you catch my drift. And now we're one big happy family on the other side of Skyrim. After a couple more jobs for the Thieves Guild, I trained my archery with Niruen, making sure to pickpocket all that I can while I'm in the Thieves Guild. Fun fact, if you get caught in the Thieves Guild, you get no bounty and aren't attacked. You just need to rest a couple days to get back in their good graces. And oh boy, sometimes they carry good equipment and you get very lucky. So altogether with my equipment and other effects, that is 87% total magic resistance, which I remind you gets capped to 85, so now I am absolutely kitted against anything magical. And this is the best it gets since I can't become a vampire or train alteration to get spell absorption, so I'm feeling pretty good right about now. And of course, I'll be scaling up my upgrades every chance I get too, so I can replace the Blessing of Azura with another buff later. That necklace makes it 89%. Now, once you complete 5 extra jobs in each of the major cities, Delvin will give you a special request that unlocks a new fence in that city and will open a new merchant at the Ragged Flagon. So first up on the chopping block is Torsten Cruel Sea in Windhelm. His daughter was done in by a rival thieves guild trying to start up in the area who have a tendency of, revoking their enemy's subscription to life. And Naranya knows about it. With a little arm twisting, she lets out that the guild is called the Somerset Shadows, and she can work as a fence for us once they're cleared out. I don't think I need to explain what their preferred race is. Nothing like fresh Altmark cuisine in the morning. Good thing they're mostly thieves and not warriors. Linway, their leader, is really the only one who puts up a fight with his glass sword and armor enchantments. A little bit of weakness to poison, mixed with poison of slow. Look at him try to run at me. Oh shit. Cheeky bastard. You'll make a fine meal. And his loot is actually pretty damn good, all things considered. Much more combat oriented. I could use the sneak boots. Also, quick note on the weakness to poison thing. I have not experimented with it enough to know, and I am actually finding out about this after the playthrough is done, but apparently you can fool around with weakness to poison and weakness to magic multiplicatively to get some really bonkers effects. I couldn't find anything solid on UESP or Fandom Wikia, and I just thought of it now, so if someone could give me an explanation in the comments if you've experimented with it already, I'd really appreciate it. I didn't abuse it in this playthrough, but that doesn't mean I won't in a later run. Okay, so you would think that you can burn this banner with a fire arrow, but no, apparently not. What even is the point of these things? So because I'm petty, I make my way to Sunderstone Gorge out in Whiterun Hold and power my way through the dungeon so I can get some reading in with a snack and learn the fire breath shout. Suck it, losers. Now with the job complete, I return to Delvin and boom, new merchant. Pretty handy. While completing some more jobs, I managed to find these little beauties at Gorza's shop in Markarth. Easy little 25% bow damage increase. Next, I forged some records in Whiterun, plant some Balmora Blue in Solitude. You didn't see anything, good sir. So that's 3 out of 4 cities complete, but Tanilia has some hairy business for us to deal with, and I don't think she meant this frost dragon. Thankfully, I have a small army to help us out at the Western Watchtower. I don't know where the hell you think you're flying off to. Yeah, that's what I thought. God, I love Skyrim. That animation's sick. You really thought you would get away, too. With a little moon sugar and display of power, Resod was pretty easy to convince. One last request from Endon and Markarth to infiltrate Pinewatch and Falkreath. Hey, I'm looking for Endon's mold.
Endon's mold? I'm afraid you have the wrong place, my friend. You'll find no silversmiths here.
Uh-huh. You know something. You'll make a fine meal, too. False bookshelf. Classic. A bit of infiltrating later. I make short work of the leader.
That's your best, huh?
Not as tough as I expect. Those tendons are hard to chew through, though. There's Endon's mold, and that's a happy silversmith, and an even happier Delvin.
You're the best damn thief in the place.
Now for the final bit of my training. Anji is a Nord who lives alone out in the mountains. She moved here after Helgen was destroyed. How she managed to build this semi-sophisticated hut by herself in a remote location on a mountain is beyond me, though. Maybe she threatened them with a dark time because she is deadly accurate with a bow, and we're actually here to take lessons. There are 6 potential skill points in archery to be gained here at any level absolutely free, as long as you have good aim as part of her lessons.
Great shot. Nice shot.
Now for 3 targets in 8 seconds.
Be careful. You did it. All 3 targets in 8 seconds. Nice job. Let me know if you want to practice some more.
Next is a long shot challenge.
Nice shot. Right on target. Let me know if you want to practice some more.
And lastly, for all 4 targets in 10 seconds.
Watch it. You did it. All 4 targets in 10 seconds. Nice job.
And that's 98 archery. Now to read the Black Arrow Volume 2 in the Drunken Huntsman in Whiterun, and Varicus and Berlor in the Treasury House in Markarth for 100 archery. That allows us to unlock easily one of the most overpowered perks in the entire game, Paralyzing Shot, which gives a 15% chance to every single arrow to paralyze an enemy for a short time. This can be reapplied with consecutive arrows as well, even while they're paralyzed, and we also have the stagger ability on top of that. So yeah, my enemies are just gonna have a swell time. Look at me, just eating Arangoth right in front of a paralyzed guard. What a loser. Oh, and I'm speedrunning through the Thieves Guild questline now for no particular reason.
You don't look so impressive.
Excuse me, I'm literally the slayer of a dragon priest and can shout you guys apart, you pompous prick. That's one maniacal master of rats sat down. Please just await your fate in my belly. There's the mead soured, just like Gullumai's schemes.
It's Karliah. Her name is Karliah.
And as good of a shot with a bow as Karliah is, I didn't even get a good opportunity to use her bow, believe it or not. I can't recharge the enchantment on it anyway, so it's whatever. There are better bows anyway, one of which I'll be getting in this playthrough. For now though, we have to play dress up for Nocturnal and pledge our souls to the Evergloam. It's kind of a shame too, these armor pieces don't even grant me any real usable stats, and my soul is now damned to the internal service of Nocturnal, who, like it or not from a lore standpoint, is an egomaniacal bitch goddess who betrayed 2 other Daedra and attempted to become an infinite being by making herself master of the Crystal Tower during the events of the Elder Scrolls Online. Not exactly someone to be trusted. Anyway, eventually we hunt down Mercer Frey, who stole the skeleton key, which puts us, the Dragonborn, at odds with a common thief who has the ability to unlock his full potential. Yeah, Dragonborn wins. Man, we eating good today. Little after dinner swim before Karliah directs us to the Twilight Sepulchre and the Pilgrim's Path, which is basically a gauntlet of enemies mixed with light puzzles a kindergartner could figure out. You know, for someone so dark and mysterious, Nocturnal could really use some help in the cryptic puzzle department. I run around in circles enough times before I pull the skeleton key out of my ass, and Sugar Mama gives me a proverbial pat on the head. She takes the skeleton key before telling me to piss off.
Your fate awaits you in the Evergloam.
So now it's just me with a long-lost granddaughter of Queen Baronziah with f*** all for an afterlife. Like, who would want to end up like Gallus here defending the Sepulchre all those years and then disappearing into the shadows? Like, what? So now I'm...
Guildmaster, I wish you good fortune and long life.
Yeah, long life before I piss away before a candlelight spell. Jesus Christ, what have I done? I don't think Y'ffre will be too happy with me. And I don't think there's a way out of my fate now. This sucks. Karliah, this was a terrible idea. Maybe the shadows will help me take on some vampires at least.
Got a fire in your belly to kill vampires, eh?
By the way, in case you were wondering, it turns out you can in fact eat vampires, though they're kind of dusty. Leaves a very powdery taste in your mouth. Think the cinnamon challenge, but ashes. Master vampires are just Bosmer food at this point. Get this shit off me! Ah! Wow, I really aged myself with that meme. And in case anyone's worried about my well-being, no, I don't play League of Legends. So if vampires are basically dust, does that mean we can mix them with cow's milk and make little Elder Scrolls protein shakes out of them? These are my thoughts at 3 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. I gift my blood to the undead Kardashian, and now Serana and I are friends forever. Hope I never have to eat her. I returned her to her castle where I professed her love to our father. I had to hide my face because I was so nervous.
I banish you.
You are maidenless.
Hope no one breaks the news to Ysolda back at home. But never mind that. Ysran needs me to collect new friends, including a bear hunter who is actually friends with bears, Ooh, now that is a bargain. So if you're keeping up with my bonuses, that is 94% magic resistance now, meaning that I can comfortably get a different blessing than Azura's because the cap is 85% in case you forgot. And there's our favorite Dwemer researcher who's off her rocker a bit.
No, you must be mistaken.
Ooh, and these glass boots of muffling will look nice with my outfit. Look at me strutting. Isran checks us for aids before I depart with some additional questing. I'm not exactly sure what caused me to continue the main quest at this point looking back, but take a look at this scaled helmet of imminent archery for an extra 10% archery bonus more than Croesus. That is going to be my new primary headpiece. Croesus has been downgraded to alchemy equipment. I visit Delphine to plan a visit to the Thalmor Embassy in Skyrim, and while in solitude I find the niftiest little necklace of alchemy. Oh, that is going to be so useful. So now I have 3 decent pieces for poison making, and I have a plan for number 4. And here starts the most unfair practice by Todd I've ever seen in Skyrim. So I give all of my stuff to Malborn with no backup equipment on me. I hop down to Delphine to go to the Thalmor party, and while she is giving me the party clothes and the invitation, a damn Elder Dragon attacks, and I can't depart on the carriage. I tried, it didn't work. I even waited for a good 10 minutes while I took a shower IRL, there's an image in your head, and it still didn't go away. Mind you, I have 0 equipment to take it down with, not even my potions either. I'm out here punching this motherfucker who can probably one-shot me if he wants to, so I run into solitude and for whatever reason, Delphine follows me in and calms her tits enough to let me go to the Thalmor Embassy. But wait, it gets even better. The bastard followed me all the way to the embassy and it won't even land. It's just flying around, making all the guards be on high alert and none of them will check my invitation. After 5 whole minutes of Todd himself holding up my playthrough and soft-locking me on this save, I decide to learn Kim and unlock the door myself. This proceeds the quest as normal, and I can use Erica's perverted ass to chase after Valenwood's finest forest fruit.
Don't you dare walk away from me, you slut!
Time to walk away now. I gather my gear, make short work of the Thalmor, and eat up. Oh my. I blow up a troll on the way out and make my way to Riverwood to inform Delphine about Esbern.
Esbern? He's alive?
Alive?
You want to know what I love about Riverwood? Alvar the blacksmith is always coming out with some goated equipment. There's a straight upgrade to my leather bracers of major archery. And by the way, I've been pickpocketing on the side since I'm a thief and all, and found out that the fact that I'm with the guild solves a lot of problems. Unfortunately, it can also create some new ones. Branche didn't make it. I won't let a sacrifice go to waste. Whoa, bro, it's okay. I just say a dead body. I'm with the Thieves Guild.
Done. Now move along.
I'm gonna miss Balaman, man. Alright, there's everyone in the Thieves Guild for 97 pickpocket. Let's go get Esbern.
Go away!
I will never stop that running gag, by the way. I guess he's less skeptical of me being Dragonborn than Delphine is. Didn't ask for a shout or anything. Picked a bad time to get lost, friend. I don't know about you, but this is the worst way to go in my opinion. Just sitting there unable to move, feeling every arrow just pierce through. And then this devout wood elf just eats you. Like, damn. And Valenwood and Somerset are supposedly allies too. What a twist. And boom, there's 100 pickpocket. I'm finally allowed to abuse it now. It's also the best option I have for leveling in general, so good thing we got it there legitimately. Now to return to Nazir at the Dark Brotherhood for the final levels I want in light armor, and boom, there's double armor rating. And I'll go ahead and make pickpocket legendary for the extra perks. Back to Riverwood to drop off the old fart and get set for Skyhaven Temple. After felling 2 dragons and eating the populace, I learned that the Akaviri had a 1st grade reading level. I become a goth girl and finally lay eyes on Alduin's wall. Unfortunately, Arngir refuses to help me, but luckily Daddy Einarth has my back on this one. So now I get to control the weather. It's amazing what a calm conversation can do. I meet up with the least lizard brain lizard in all of Skyrim.
Dremyolok, greetings.
Speak fire like my grandfather before me? Yeah, that's right. I wonder how many of you lorehounds picked up the backstory of this character that I'm putting down. So we gotta go fetch an Elder Scroll, but this was actually my ticket into the College of Winterhold.
Bruce?
I think there is much that we can learn from each other.
Oh, do you? So due to me needing to cast a ward spell, I'm actually unable to complete this part of the College of Winterhold questline. Unless I kill a student, and then eat them in front of the whole class. How's that for a first impression? Thankfully, all you have to do is wait 2 days and return to class.
Ah, yes. There was an incident, wasn't there?
Turns out the cost of a single student's life is a measly 250 gold. These people are shameless. But hey, at least I don't have to learn magic.
After the unfortunate incident that occurred, I think it's best if we just move on.
I progress as normal through the College of Winterhold quest line, flashbang all the way up to Mizulft, because as per usual, not even ice arrows can focus this damn crystal. It just has to be the frostbite spell. By the way, I hope you don't mind that I skipped past all that because the video's getting kinda long. But now back to Solitude so I can join the Imperial Legion. As far as the pros go, it's a stable income, good job security, honor and glory for the Emperor, etc, etc. As far as cons go, they know my worth as an asset and send me off to solo an entire fort, but I guess I can't say they're wrong about it. The other con is I basically have to expand my stomach to fit all these snacks in my belly. Y'ffrey better yoink me out of the Evergloom when I die. But the real goal is always something personal. You see, Corvin June is the first stop for the Legion to retrieve the Jagged Crown because Nord nonsense symbolism, blah blah blah. But the real reason I'm here, hold up, just rolled up with the Daedric Bow, yes sir! Draw speed is slow, but the firepower is pretty good. Now to sleep these bags of bones. Ah, some soldiers have shouldered the burden of death. Hopefully the rest of them don't catch me snacking. Alright, there we go, the first word of slow time. Coincidentally, the same reason I was trying to do the College of Winterhold questline, but obviously Todd had to be so particular with how to focus the damn crystal. Back at the Thieves Guild, I offload some equipment and train my pickpocket by constantly planting gold on other members and stealing it back for an easy 100 pickpocket, which gives me some perks to put to good use. The main draw will be the health gain upon level up though. Now to head to the Dark Brotherhood, where I have exactly 2 goals. Silence Nilsine's Shatter Shield and Elaine Dufont's Band of Bandits. And Elaine himself. Hey guys, I know you're in mourning, but so is my stomach. Anyway, all that to say that goal number 1 is to obtain Mrieri's ring so that we finally have 4 pieces of alchemy equipment that we can swap in to make potions. And goal number 2 is to slay this loving father's son, and damn, they're really tugging on the heartstrings with this lover too. Ugh, Bethesda's making me care about characters again. Anyway, I eat him and plant the letter so that I can get a reading from Olava the Feeble and travel to Hag's End, where deep in the ruins I can find this ancient Dark Brotherhood assassin who has some really good gear, specifically the cowl for the 35% archery damage and the more armored boots that are muffled. And there's the second bird with 1 stone, the second word of slow time. That's all I'm able to get in this playthrough for that shout, but it's good. Back in Falkreath, I'll offload some goods and meet this lovely chap.
I can't believe we let provincials like you wander Skyrim.
I think I took it pretty well, but with enough time wasted, it's time to get back on track. I sniped Dexian enough times to rewire his brain for him, enough for him to read me this edgy tale.
Darkness will mingle with light, and the night and the day will be as one.
Todd was feeling his particular dual nature that day in the writing room, to release Elder Scrolls 6 or not to release Elder Scrolls 6. It turns out the bedtime reading material is hidden within the castle, which, with Serana's slow-moving ass, we were able to find.
I am a gamer and I am in hell!
We meet up with Valerica, Serana's all-too-judgmental mother.
So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter?
Well, your kind tastes like unmixed protein powder, so your daughter's definitely safe with me. So we gotta go defeat 3 keepers who are keeping Valerica locked up. Thankfully, they aren't immune to paralyze. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. And there's 3. Unfortunately, I had a hard time seeing where he landed. Don't ask me how I was able to spot this with the free cam. It took me like 10 whole minutes. But now we can leave the Daedric Bow behind because look at that lovely draw speed. And it's made of bone, so it's thematic to my character even. With the keepers defeated, it's time to face down Durnavir, the undead death dragon who conjures undead death lords that seek to bring death to both the undead and not dead yet. Die, death dealing, death at death. Please become a channel member. Popping an 80% Fortify Marksman potion is enough to take the fight back to him, and he goes down pretty easy. There's the Elder Scroll, and there's my favorite game franchise.
Elder Scrolls, indeed.
Serana and I bust our way through Off-Tan, and that is not a good angle, Todd. I run through the musings of Michael Kirkbride, summoning Volthar Yol as I go, so we can watch from beyond, so I can send him to the Great Beyond. And by that, I mean recombine with another shard of the Great Akatusk, who makes up the foundation of what we know as Akatosh or Ariel, which all desire to conjoin and eventually will at the end of time to reform a once complete but now shattered god. or something like that. I'm a fan of Xerx's Acheron and Fudge Mobit if you couldn't tell. By the way, this is actually the second spawn in of a dragon of this mountain, so all 2 of you people commenting in my previous video about how dragons not giving souls at a previous lair is not a bug, this is for you. Pettiness aside, I hear the moths because as a wood elf, I'm just so attuned with nature. And our next stop is Darkfall Cave. I meet up with my snowy pale brethren, who conveniently is next to one of 2 places where there's a shrine of Ariel. Praying at one gives 10% extra fortified marksman, which is very cool now that I have enough magic resist to offset the blessing of Azura. And I run through the Darkfall Cave and through the rest of the Forgotten Vale, slaying dragons and other vermin alike. To get to the inner sanctum of Ariel, where there's another shrine to Ariel. A couple of hordes from this guy later, he rage quits like a true alpha gamer and starts blasting like a 9-year-old on Twitter, or X, or whatever the fuck you guys call it. I don't care. I didn't want to shout him off the balcony this time because I always do that and it's always funny, but just wanted to be different this time around. Unfortunately, Todd had other plans. Good old Anniversary Edition lightning arrow physics. Gotta love it. But now for the best bow in the game for our purposes. Ariel's bow has the best draw speed in the game, along with Zephyr, which we had earlier, and the longbow, believe it or not. There's a whole chart of this on UESP.
It's not as shiny as I was expecting.
I'm going to kill you. With the Battle of Castle Volkihar underway, it's now time to face Daddy Issues Incarnate.
So, I see this dragon has fangs.
I just file my teeth down to make eating my enemies easier. Unfortunately for Harkon, I'm actually allowed to use the intended tool for the job this time around. And how about a little 100% boosted fortified marksman as well? I mean, he's not immune to staggers, so as long as my aim's on point, I should be good to go. Feels good to finally shut him down like that. Yeah, bro, you're just getting jumped today. Dark Souls 2 style. My bow may be out of charge, but I still have fire arrows that finally work as advertised with actual fire this time. Get exploded on, filthy Daedric cursed butthole spreading sorry excuse for her father. No offense, Serana. And after about 5 minutes of fighting, I finally corner him and put it into it.
Teamwork right there.
Bro, really? Right in front of your own daughter like that?
Well, now that's done.
Yeah, I think I'm done too, baby girl. Too much family drama for me personally. It's too bad I can't eat him, but holy molag's balls, at a sorority, we have another 5% boost to magic resistance. That makes like 99% now. Let's go! Now I can swap out the Savior's Hide for an actual armor piece. But now for the level grind. So as I was saying earlier about pickpocket training, you can deposit gold coins on members of the Thieves Guild and steal it back to gain fast levels, and they won't attack you if you get caught. If all of them end up catching you, all you need to do is travel far enough away or wait out the time for 2 days, and back at it you go. Fast forward a few hours and there's level 80 after about 12 legendary cycles on the pickpocket skill. And at this point I have 30 perk points and nowhere really useful to put them, so off we go. Now I've finally found the Ebony Warrior and all boxes are checked. I continue with the main quest and learn the Dragon Quiet Quitting Shout, which instead of soaring to their fullest potential, instead causes dragons to do the bare minimum and crawl on the ground with the rest of us mortals. How tragic. Damn, even with all that magic resist, that fire is no joke. Just gonna have to let Shadowmere tank up the hits while I shoot from behind the ward wall. Does that count as a pet technically? I didn't really think about it, to be honest. Parthenax also joins in the fray for some scaly boy on scaly boy violence. A few minutes later, and I'm finally able to put an end to this fight.
You cannot prevail against me.
Just did, dude. Yeah, get the hell out of here, bro. The Ballster is not a big fan of what needs to happen.
What's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace?
But before I proceed, I need to make some preparations. I craft a good number of potions and poisons, get some new boots, some new armor, and as many bone arrows as I'm able to find. Now I'm ready to take on just about anything. I meet with the Greybeards to conduct the Peace Council and kick the Thalmor out because f*** the Thalmor. After conditions are accepted, Esbern tells me he can't help me, and then immediately helps me by giving me the name of the dragon I am to call.
Odahviing.
So it's time to capture Dragon. No, you're supposed to turn the other way there, boy. There you go. After a brief bit of discussion, I decide to set him free so he can take me to Alduin's final bastion, Skull Dolphin. And as much as I would love small talk with the locals, I have a mission to complete and an all-powerful world eater to contend with. Now for the final confrontation with the big bad himself. To prevail, I must gain entry to Shore's Hall.
By what right do you request entry?
By right of plunder, I am a Nightingale of Nocturnal. Oh boy, he did not like that answer. Well, at least he's not immune to paralysis.
You fought well.
My tactics are as underhanded as my right to request entry. I wonder how this dude got his name. With their names promised in song, the three heroes of old join me in the fight, and we do battle with the final foe. With the heroes taking the vanguard, I am free to do as elves do and hang back in the rear the entire fight. Not much else to say. A 4v1 is hardly fair, even for Alduin. And with the final blooper arrow, he does not take it well. And thus the mightiest shard of the Akatusk rejoins the founding shard, reuniting Akatosh with Alduin in some weird lore-friendly kind of way. Unless the writers at Bethesda smoke another joint, I guess. And with the foe defeated, I think Soon is just ready for my elven thief guts to be anywhere but here.
Return now to Nirn.
Damn, you really had to flashbang me, didn't you? Oh, how cute, a dragon funeral. I could devour each and every one of you if you'd like to join him in death. Here guys, you're forgetting a friend. Odoving is not a fan. Well, only one more story left to tell.
May I ask what it is you're doing here?
Oh, you know, feigning ignorance for a quest that I've already completed like 20 times, as per usual. With half the common folk ensnared by Mirak's influence, Freya and I need to work through some cultists, and they taste as bad as they fight. And I mean seriously, that paralyzing shot perk just trivializes every normal fight. It's quite obnoxious and I love it. We fight past the gatekeeper, if you could even call it a fight, and make our way down to the bowels of the temple where I finally read the Black Book. Damn, not even the Blessing of Azura can block the wrath of a novice destruction spell. So much for Daedric blessings.
So you have slain Alchemy.
Yeah, I can feel your ass sweating from here. You're not safe from me, asshole! After that rough encounter, I make my way to the Skull village where the locals are waking and baking. So what's going on, Storn?
I fear there is too much we do not yet know.
Wonder he dies later. So in order to defeat Mirak, we must learn his word of power. Sort of a use the stones to destroy the stones type of strategy. Apparently that quip was more reality than I intended it to be. Luckily, not even lurkers are immune to paralysis. And after about 2 more minutes, this one goes down quietly.
You have prevailed. I can feel it.
Oh really? Are you sure it wasn't the literal half of your village that returned that tipped you off? I swear this guy is useless. I used Bend Will on the other stones ahead of time just to get it out of the way, because your boy has a video to make and all that. And now to report to Neloth, who tells me there's a black book located in a Chardak that might prove useful. We make short work of the Reavers there and prepare for the world's largest water management game. See, the city is flooded, and the boilers below are needed to access the Black Book upstairs. So by fighting the Dwemer inside and finding these control cubes, we're able to activate the boilers and access the book just fine. Unless you really like Stealth Archer gameplay, you didn't miss anything from me skipping that dungeon. Hermaeus Mora takes a peep, I have knowledge to reap, and after running like a mad elf on EPO, I discover the secrets of the Black Book. Turns out it was Hermaeus Mora himself the whole time. He's not exactly one for free will, it turns out.
You will serve me, willing or not.
I wonder if he has the secret knowledge of how to go f*** himself. You would think he does with all the tentacles he has. I don't really know what Mirak expects this base form dragon to do to me. I mean, I'm a master archer and I have a literal Adric artifact used to propel the heart of Lorcan itself. I second that, Neloth. Thanks for the free dragon soul, I guess. By the way, since I did the Thieves Guild questline, I didn't want to go without mentioning the storyline of Glover Mallory. It's a really sad tale and Glover is kind of a piece of shit, so I'd recommend asking him about it if you do a Thief playthrough. I won't spoil it here. Also, the name Esmentine just reminds me of Desmond Miles, which is from the Assassin's Creed series, which reminds me of how Ubisoft is assassinating itself with its recent moves. Oh, how I miss the good old days. I meet up one last time with Hippy Dippy Skippy here, and I swear, does Freya have Parkinson's or something? Her right arm always goes crazy at this part. So after injecting himself with Storn's Secrets of the Skull, Hermaeus Mora carves the final word of power onto Storn's body. Absolutely brutal, man. Well, hope that doesn't happen to me. A couple of chapters read and some second grade reading comprehension later, I bend the will of Sauertar, Mirak's dragon, and ride him all the way to the summit, where our legendary battle shall commence. Unfortunately, I can't pickpocket poisons into Mirak's inventory, so I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. You know, it's not lost on me that I possess Ariel's bow, probably one of the most prominently storied Aedric artifacts in all of Tamrielic history. I myself, if lore is to be believed, am an aspect of Shor, but also a shard of the great Akatusk, blessed by the greater Akatosh, and formerly Ariel Time Spirit with the gift of dragon blood, who is doing battle with a corrupted shard of the Akatusk in Hermaeus Mora's Daedric Plane of Oblivion, formed from chaotic Creatia in the Void of Sithis. All that to say, I'm quite literally and figuratively a light in the darkness. There we go, there's one phase down. There's two. It is pretty handy that Mirak, while immune to paralysis, is not immune to staggers. Makes for an easy time. Again, a Nord's weakness is a tiny wood elf who is a literal tree hugger. Never ask a Stormcloak the race of his wife. That's phase 3. Hey, no fair! I stole your dragon fair and square. You can't steal them back. Alright, here we go. Rapid fire round, no pun intended. We have bone arrows, the highest damaging arrows. I have the highest damaging poison arrows I can make bound to my favorites, and the Fortify Marksman potion is already popped for 100% better damage. And slowed time. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, okay, tell that to old Hermaeus Mora. Yeah, that's what I thought, buddy. He's quite pokey with those tentacles of his, ain't he?
You can hide nothing from me here.
Oh, thank God. I was worried I would have to physically eat his 1,000-year-old dusty remains. Saves me a trip to the toilet. And there we go. That's all the main storyline of Skyrim and its DLCs. I guess we're done. I mean, come on. If you've seen a Skyrim challenge of mine before, you knew this was coming. I prepare my potions of 100% Fortify Marksman and 125 poison damage and slow, and now it's time to take on Skyrim's biggest challenges. Even the fire from a legendary dragon is having a hard time punching through both 85% magic resistance and 50% fire resistance on top of all that. Shadowmare even joins the fight, and oh no, you're not going anywhere, buddy. You are quiet quitting for old Yammer Cameron today. And this is pretty much the entire fight. A couple of minutes and the legendary dragon is down and out. Turns out he quit not so quietly that time. Next is the Ebony Warrior, and I don't know what it was, but he just refused to get paralyzed or stagger at all. Plus he has a shield that just blocks arrows, so it didn't help things either. And he can shout me up and down the mountain if I'm not careful. Thankfully, I was able to get him to collide with these little rocks up the mountain for some quick damage, but he can still shout me every so often. Eventually I find an opening to summon Durnavir, but there's a problem. The Ebony Warrior is super strong and his sword has absorbed health, so it's better that he not have minions to hit at all. Like, he's just farming health regen right here. Eventually my Dragon Aspect minion is able to Fusro Daw him down the mountain, but if you don't stay close or damage him fast enough, he'll actually regen health out of nowhere. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but it's pretty well documented on UESP, that's for sure. Eventually he just regens to full health off the minions, and after a full 10 minutes of fighting back and forth, he finally nails me. Try number 2. Okay, he's actually staggering now? What? So he's not getting paralyzed or anything like that, but he is definitely getting staggered a whole lot, and combined with my poison arrows, he's actually going down kind of quick. I guess the first try was bugged? Well, that makes me feel a little better about my failures. Ah, jebaited. Finally done. May you enjoy Sovngarde as I may never do. Stupid freaking Nocturnal. I shall enjoy your corpse while it lasts. And now for the grand finale. So Karstag is a whole different beast. While he is a spectral frost giant, he is still very much a giant and his damage reflects that. I may have the magic resist to hold my own, but after that one attack, I'm thinking twice about playing fair here. One wrong move and I succumb to the natural order. But there is a little trick here. Once you summon Karstag, there are these little stacks of ice blocks on the eastern side of the arena that you can climb up that Karstag can't actually reach. Too bad I'm fully detected here. Unless... Lover Mallory, you sick son of a bitch! This prime elixir of escape allows me to turn invisible with a health regen effect, and eventually I'm able to hide away from Karstag. And while he may be immune to poison, sneak attack damage with double archery damage is pretty nice. Now he does have me fully detected, but eventually, contrary to what the game would have you believe, he actually does lose detection of me after about a minute and a half somehow. And Todd tried every trick in the book. He made Karstag juke an arrow from someone he can't see. He phased through the ground at one point. He was not happy about what was happening. But like it or not, eventually King Karstag was laid to eternal rest once again. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, ring the bell for new uploads. Hopefully the next one's a bit quicker. And please comment below what you'd like to see next. This was an idea I got from a comment on the last video, so your idea might be next. I also have a Discord server, however small it might be. Links in the description. And lastly, on the off chance that YouTube messes with this video's monetization, consider becoming a channel member, which comes with a member shout out and is as low as $1 per month. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.